There comes a moment, quiet, subtle, when all your effort begins to feel like noise. You've strategized, affirmed, visualized, maybe even pushed yourself to the edge of burnout in the name of growth. And yet, the life you long for still feels like a mirage, always on the horizon, never in your hands. Here's the unsettling truth most never say aloud. You can't force your way into a higher reality. You can't bully the quantum field with desperation, no matter how spiritual the words you use. Because transformation doesn't arise from control, it arises from surrender. That might sound counterintuitive. After all, haven't we been taught that we must go after what we want, that success is the reward of relentless effort, and happiness must be earned through struggle? But the quantum realm plays by different rules. You don't chase energy, you attune to it. You don't create outcomes with sheer force. You allow them by becoming vibrationally aligned with their presence. So many of us are stuck in an outdated model of reality. One where we believe the world is made of solid things, linear timelines, and external causes. In that paradigm, the mind races, the heart contracts, and the body clenches into overdrive. We believe that only by taking control of people, outcomes, perceptions, can we finally feel safe. But safety built on control is an illusion. Because the universe is not a machine, it's a living, breathing consciousness, and you are not a machine either. What if you didn't have to push so hard? What if the very act of trying to make it happen is the energetic signal that you don't actually believe it can? Here's the paradox. The moment you stop trying to control life, life becomes soft in your hands. The moment you stop chasing the dream, it begins to notice you because you are no longer vibrating at the frequency of lack. You are becoming the version of you who trusts, who rests, who allows. And that is powerful. Quantum possibility exists in every now moment, like infinite timelines coiled up in invisible threads. You don't reach them by striving, you shift into them by state. The energy you broadcast is the invitation you send. If you live in anxiety, you call in more things to worry about. If you live in presence, you open the door to insight, guidance, synchronicity. This is not philosophy, it is law. So before anything else, you must let go of the lie that says, I'm only worthy when I prove it. Let go of the belief that says, if I just do enough, I'll become enough. Because that belief is a trap, a loop that keeps you oscillating in low-frequency cycles of unworthiness. Pause. Inhale. Feel your chest rise. Where in your life are you still chasing something you don't believe you deserve? That is the place where your quantum invitation begins. Not in the chasing, in the softening. This isn't about giving up. It's about stepping out of resistance and into resonance. You are not here to hustle yourself into wholeness. You are here to remember you were whole all along. You are not a solid object in a fixed world. That's the first gentle truth you must let settle into your being. Beneath the appearance of things, your body, your thoughts, your name, there is a deeper layer of existence humming beneath the surface. It is a field, a frequency, a living tapestry of vibration and awareness, and you are woven into it. What scientists now glimpse in quantum physics, mystics have whispered for millennia. We do not exist separate from reality. We are reality expressing itself. Everything is energy. Everything is in motion, and what we call matter is just slowed down energy, organizing itself into form. That means the walls around you, the chair beneath you, even your very self, are not truly separate. They're currents in the same universal ocean. This understanding changes everything. Because if all is energy, then your internal state isn't private, it's a broadcast. And the universe? It listens. It doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your signal. Have you ever walked into a room and felt someone's presence before they even spoke? Or met someone whose calm felt like medicine without them doing anything? That's the field. The energy they carry. And you have one too. But here's where it gets even more powerful. Your field is not fixed. It can be tuned. Think of yourself as a radio tower. Whatever frequency you emit, through your emotions, your beliefs, your focus, is what you'll pick up from the quantum field. When you vibrate in resentment, you magnetize echoes of that vibration. When you vibrate in peace, opportunities and people that match that peace begin to orbit you like planets pulled by gravity. So many people try to manifest from a state of lack. They say, "I want abundance," but feel anxiety. They declare, "I am love," but secretly fear rejection. And the field doesn't match what you say. It matches who you are, energetically, emotionally, moment to moment. This is not a punishment. It's a mirror, a divine intelligence that doesn't judge but reflects. And once you see this, life becomes less about effort and more about embodiment. If you want a different life, you must become a different frequency. You might be wondering, how do I change my frequency? Isn't it fixed by my past, my traumas, my wiring? The answer is both kind and liberating. No, it's not fixed. Your field changes every time you choose presence over panic, gratitude over grasping, stillness over self-sabotage. These tiny choices, repeated, begin to ripple. Imagine your life as a musical instrument. When it's out of tune, it produces noise. But with practice, gentleness, and care, it can return to harmony. Your energy is the same. You don't force it into place. You breathe into it, attune to it. And in that tuning, something incredible happens. You start to see life differently. Not as a series of obstacles, but as patterns revealing your vibration. Not as punishment, but as feedback. You become less reactive, more intuitive. You stop trying to change people and start transforming your own presence. That's when the field begins to shift around you. Not because you commanded it to, but because you became a new node within it. The ocean around you reorganizes when the droplet that is you changes tone. You are not a victim of your environment. You are a participant in its unfolding. So pause again. Inhale. What are you vibrating right now? Not in your mind, but in your nervous system. That feeling, that is the signal you are sending into the living field. And that is what is coming back to you. Change the signal, and the reflection changes. Not immediately, perhaps, but inevitably, because life always meets you at the level of your energy, not your effort. And when you begin to understand this, you stop chasing transformation. You start living it. Emotions are not just feelings. They are instructions. Each one is a coded message, a vibrational pulse sent out into the quantum field, signaling what version of reality you are ready to receive. And what's astonishing is this. Most of us walk through our lives completely unaware of what we're broadcasting. We think emotions are reactions to life, but in truth, they are also architects of life. You don't simply feel sad because something happened. You may be tuning into sadness that reshapes what happens next. You don't just feel joy because things go well. Your joy may be the very thing causing things to align in your favor. What you feel consistently becomes your signature, your unique energetic fingerprint. The field remembers it, responds to it, and matches it. You don't manifest what you occasionally wish for. You manifest what you consistently feel you deserve. This is why affirmations sometimes feel hollow. You can say, "I am worthy" all day long, but if deep down you are vibrating with self-doubt and fear, the universe doesn't hear the words. It hears the feeling. And this is not about blame, it's about awakening. Most of our emotional signatures are shaped early. Childhood moments, ancestral stories, cultural beliefs, these become the emotional code we unconsciously live by. Maybe you learn to feel guilty for having desires, or to feel unsafe when things go well, because something bad might follow. Maybe your nervous system got wired to associate love with tension, success with abandonment, visibility with risk. And so even as an adult, you carry these emotional programs like invisible scripts. But what was once automatic can become conscious, and what becomes conscious can be recoded. This is the gentle work of emotional alchemy. To stop suppressing how you feel and start listening to what it's trying to show you. Your feelings are not flaws. They are signals. They tell you where you've been living in old timelines. where your energy is out of sync with your vision, where the invitation is, right now, to tune into something higher. Let's get practical. When you wake up tomorrow, ask yourself, what is the emotional tone I'm waking into? Is it tightness? Is it rush? Is it dread? That's your starting point. Not to shame it, but to meet it. Sit with it, breathe into it, and then ask, what is one emotion I can gently practice today that aligns with the life I desire? If you seek connection, maybe that emotion is openness. If you long for abundance, perhaps it's sufficiency. If you yearn for peace, then your daily practice becomes groundedness. You don't fake it, you embody it in small but meaningful ways. A hand on your chest, a slower breath, a choice not to spiral, a moment of silence instead of reaction. Each of these is a new instruction, a new signature sent out into the quantum field. And this matters because the field is always listening. People often ask, why isn't my manifestation working? But the real question is, what are you emotionally embodying when you say you want something? Wanting and believing are not the same frequency. Wanting often vibrates with absence. Believing vibrates with presence. You can want love but feel unlovable. You can want success but carry shame. And the quantum field mirrors back your signal, not your script. So the work is not to hustle harder, it is to fine-tune your emotional state, to heal the frequencies within you that block reception, to feel, viscerally, regularly, what it's like to already be who you want to become. Because when your emotional signature matches your desired reality, that reality cannot help but find you. Pause. Inhale again. What emotion do you unconsciously return to most often? Is it safety or shame, clarity or confusion? That's your current signal. And here's the good news. It can change. Every moment you choose presence over pattern, you recalibrate your frequency. You rewrite your field, you become a new invitation. And the universe, it always responds to your invitation. There's a sacred moment that most people skip in their search for transformation. A space so subtle, so quiet, it often goes unnoticed. But this space, this pause, is where everything begins. It's not the moment of action, not the bold leap, not even the declaration of intent. It is the moment right before those things. It is the silence between breaths, the hesitation before decision, the stillness before the seed cracks open. And in the language of the quantum, this is the most powerful moment of all, because this is where potential lives. The quantum field does not operate on the schedule of your ego. It unfolds in waves of probability, in invitations of vibration, in whispers, not commands. And it listens most attentively not when you scream your desires into the void, but when you fall into stillness and meet the unknown with reverence. This is the art of the pause, the space between possibilities, the threshold of timelines. Most people rush through it because it feels like nothing is happening, like being stuck, like failure. But that's an illusion born from a linear, physical mindset. In truth, the pause is where the field is reordering itself around you, where your vibration recalibrates, where unseen roots take hold before the sprout. Think of the caterpillar. It doesn't become a butterfly by trying harder. It dissolves, it enters the cocoon, surrenders completely. In that suspended state of not this but not yet that, it allows something ancient and intelligent to remake it. And then, without forcing wings to grow, it emerges, new. You are no different. So when you feel like you're in between, when the old no longer fits but the new hasn't yet arrived, when you've let go of what was but don't yet know what will be, that is not failure, that is gestation. A quantum invitation to rest in the void, to pause, not panic. And this is where most manifestation teachings fall short. They tell you to act as if, to visualize, to script and plan. But rarely do they tell you about the sacred power of sitting in the unknown, of allowing the discomfort of uncertainty to become your teacher. Because if you can't tolerate the void, you'll keep filling it with old patterns. You'll reach for what's familiar, even if it's painful. You'll try to manifest from fear of emptiness, rather than from alignment with truth. But when you learn to stay, to breathe, to soften into the unformed, you become the field itself. Fluid, receptive, free. Real manifestation is not about controlling outcomes. It's about preparing your state so the right outcome recognizes you. And your most fertile state is not when you're over-efforting. It's when you are available, emotionally, energetically, spiritually. The pause is your practice. Each time you feel the impulse to fill the silence, ask, what if I wait one more breath? Each time you rush to figure it out, ask, what if I trust that clarity is coming to find me? Each time you feel the urge to act from panic, ask, what would it feel like to act from peace instead? These are not passive choices. They are radical recalibrations. They signal to the field that you no longer operate from survival, but from coherence, from alignment, from trust. It may feel like nothing is happening, but behind the veil, the quantum is listening. The timelines are shifting. The future is being written in frequencies. And you, quiet, patient, brave in your pause, are the pen. You don't manifest by begging the universe to grant your wish. You manifest by becoming the version of yourself for whom that reality is natural, inevitable, almost boring in its familiarity. This is not about pretending or faking it. It's about embodiment, becoming the living, breathing invitation for the life you desire. That invitation isn't made with vision boards or perfectly worded intentions. It's made with energy, with the texture of your thoughts, the rhythm of your breath, the emotion that hums beneath your choices. So ask yourself with honesty and courage, who are you being today? Not in the sense of identity or job title, but vibrationally. Who are you showing up as in the quantum field? The version of you that already lives in your highest reality. How do they carry themselves? How do they handle disappointment? How do they walk into a room? What do they no longer tolerate? What do they no longer chase? Here's the truth most people avoid. You cannot hold a reality that you have not emotionally prepared to receive. If your nervous system is still wired for scarcity, the wealth you manifest will stress you. If your self-worth still hinges on being needed, the love you attract will exhaust you. If your body doesn't feel safe to expand, you will unconsciously sabotage every opportunity to do so. To become the invitation means to prepare your inner world for what you desire, not with perfection, but with congruence. It means to ask, does my internal frequency match the life I say I want? It's easy to fall into the trap of waiting. When the opportunity comes, I'll rise to it. When the partner shows up, I'll soften. When I make more money, I'll feel abundant. But that is backwards. Life doesn't give you what you want when you're ready. It gives you what you are. Think of it like this. A thermostat doesn't wait for the room to heat up before it emits warmth. It emits warmth so the room heats up. You are the thermostat. The energetic environment you emit creates the conditions around you. So, what does it look like to become the invitation? It looks like practicing safety in your body, even when nothing big is happening. It looks like finding joy in the smallest rituals. Tea in the morning, sunlight on your face, a deep breath taken slowly. It looks like saying no to what drains you, even before the dream arrives. It looks like releasing relationships that reflect your old frequency, not because you hate them, but because you're no longer available for self-abandonment. It looks like becoming the person your next timeline is already in love with. This isn't about being perfect. In fact, it's often messy, raw, tender. You'll grieve old parts of you. You'll doubt. You'll want to go back. But every time you choose the new state, no matter how small, you anchor it deeper. You stabilize it. You expand your capacity to hold it. The field watches this. It calibrates to this. It meets your effort in invisible ways. So here's your invitation. Stop waiting for proof. Stop waiting for validation. Stop waiting for the external to give you permission to feel what you already crave. Be it now. Be love before you're loved. Be trust before it's obvious. Be peace before everything makes sense. Because the quantum doesn't respond to your timeline, it responds to your readiness. And readiness isn't about perfection, it's about alignment. You are not calling the future to you. You are aligning with the version of you who is already living it. That version is not far away. She is not separate. He is not somewhere else. They are within you, quiet, patient, waiting to be chosen. So choose, one breath at a time, one decision at a time, one vibrational shift at a time. The field is listening. And now, here you are, at the edge of everything you've known, with the soft hum of potential vibrating all around you. You've glimpsed the truth, that life is not something that happens to you, but something that responds through you. You are not a passive participant in your own story. You are the author, the frequency, the living invitation for the next chapter. This journey into the quantum is not about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you already are beneath the noise, the fear, and the conditioning. You were never disconnected, you were only distracted. And now you've come home. So begin again, gently, not with force, but with presence. Let each breath be a declaration. Let each choice be a tuning fork. Let your life become a field of coherence so rich, so true, that everything misaligned simply falls away. And if this spoke to something deep within you, if it sparked something quiet but certain, then let that spark guide your next step. Share this. Reflect on it. Return to it. You're not alone in this awakening. You're part of a remembering, and it's only just begun. Where in your life can you become the invitation today?